Whoa, hold up. What do you think you're doing, Daniel? Here, try this instead.
Wait! Change it back!
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my devlog. If you're new here, I post videos logging the progress of the new third-person looter-shooter mobile game I'm developing called N.E.S.T. So consider subscribing to follow along. Great, now let's get into the progress I made. Wait, what's that?
Are you happy now? Is this what you want?
Oh, no, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as most of you know, I'm still at university, and so I unfortunately had to spend a bit of time on that. In particular, I was struggling with this one section of stats, but after a week of staring at my computer, I'm still completely lost. Just kidding, I'm now basically a stats god. Get out of here with your y equals mx plus c. Cringe. But if this video gets over 1 like, I'll drop out and become a reaction channel. But if this video gets over 1 like, I'll drop out and become a reaction channel. But if this video gets over 1 like... Anyway, it's now time to wipe the dust off N.E.S.T and get into the progress I made. I started off by creating an achievement management system, which also notifies the player when an achievement has been unlocked. They can then go back to the base camp and claim their rewards. The achievements are all made using scriptable objects, and I've made sure to add a lot of them. Next up, I worked on creating a music manager. I knew I wanted a system in place which allowed me to easily fade between music, based on what situation the player was in. So I settled on using a coroutine to fade between the volumes of 2 audio sources, as well as Unity's built-in audio mixer tool to control the overall volume. Now with regards to the actual music, I'm not too sure whether I want to hire a composer or use royalty-free music, because I'm definitely not doing that myself. In the previous video, I added special weapons. However, most of them hadn't really been implemented yet. That's because I first needed to create an effects system. Now, different effects, which I created using scriptable objects, can be added to each character and can cause some interesting behaviors, like burning or getting absolutely wasted. Now it was time to tackle the main task I had planned for the week, to finally finish adding all of the aliens, which I'd been postponing for quite a while. The first thing I had to do though was create a table of all the different attacks for each alien, and specify which levels would be able to perform which attacks. I could then go back into Unity and add each of them, and you'll never guess what I ended up using for that. Correct. Now, some of you would remember these types of single attacks from a previous video. However, something else which I added to give a bit more variety were combo attacks, which just contain an array of single attacks separated by a delay. With all the attacks now added, and trust me there were a lot, I could now assign them to each alien and specify their different weightings. And while it might seem trivial, the maths behind choosing a random weighted element from an array was actually pretty interesting. So here it is. What? You can't just bring up an interesting algorithm and not explain how it works? Haha, maths go brrrr. With the attacks now in the game, I could now fill out the rest of the properties for each alien and their different levels. And as you can imagine, this also took a really long time. Once I'd finished, I started testing out the newly added aliens and thought of a random idea to make them retreat if they felt they had no chance at a victory. Now, a quick disclaimer, there is a very small chance that an alien will retreat. However, I just felt it added that extra bit of depth to their AI. And because I liked the idea so much, I began to think of what else I could add. And that's when it hit me. Why not give them human emotions? So I did. I added a property to each alien which describes their current emotional state. As shown in this table, there are different causes and effects relating to each emotion, which not only affects their stats, but is also used to determine what attacks aliens are willing to perform. By now, the aliens in my game felt as though they were on the brink of sentience, but there was one more thing I needed to do.
Nope.
In most cases, us humans are not all the same, and so I needed to make sure each alien was also unique. I achieved this by adding a bit of code to each of their start functions to slightly adjust their stats, but also randomly scale them and change the pitch of their audio sources to match their size.
Hey, what's the big idea?
The last thing I did was renew my Apple and Google Play developer licenses. This was because I wanted to start using the iOS project builder I spoke about in the previous devlog, but also because I was getting pretty stressed about the name N.E.S.T being claimed. Fortunately, they were both available. You might not think it's that big of a deal, but it can actually be really difficult to find names which aren't already taken. I mean, just look at how hard it has been for some developers. Anyway, before I end this video, I wanted to quickly mention that Week 7's Discord challenge has now officially been resumed. Instead of a total of 3 entries which will be used though, I've instead come up with a plan which will allow everyone to have their assets featured, granted of course the council deems them worthy. Let me explain. What's going to happen is that you will need to first unlock the social forum. This will be rewarded to you after unlocking the social butterfly achievement, which just requires that you check out all of the social links in the top menu. Once you've done that, a new level will appear in Rome called the Social Forum, as a tribute to the famous Roman forums. There, all the assets will be featured, and for those who have taken part in the Discord challenges, you'll also be able to claim your prizes from an in-game console. I decided to add this as an Easter egg to say thank you for all the support you've shown me throughout the development of this game. Remember that this will be your level, so compose music, model some weapons, or even create your own aliens. Just make sure that I can easily add them into the game using my current systems. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed or learned something, make sure to slap that like button and subscribe to follow along on the development of this game. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.